Živja in pozdravljeni na pogovoru po filmu Oboževanje, Adoration. Jaz sem Lana.
In jaz sem Jan.
In sva Kinotripovca. Upamo, da ste v filmu uživali in da se vam je porodilo kakšno vprašanje, ker naju zanima kar nekaj stvari in zato se bova danes pogovarjala z režiserjem Fabricem du Welzem in direktorjem fotografije Manuelom Dacossem. Vas, gledalce, pa vabiva, da svoje vprašanja vpišete v Q&A okence v spodnji Zoom vrstici. Vprašanja bo moderirala Anja, pogovor pa bo potekal v angleščini.
So good evening, Fabrice and Manu.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for taking your time and virtually joining us. Congratulations for the movie once again. We really enjoyed the screening and we really think it's an amazing movie. And as Lana said, we have a lot of questions prepared for you. So maybe even if our audience has any new questions, make sure to leave them down in the Q&A section and Manu will, so it was planned that Manu will be late, but now he's here, so that's good news. So I'm just gonna start with the questions first. So maybe for the start, we have questions for both of you. In your opinion, which of three words best describe Adoration?
What? I didn't get it.
So okay, if you need to describe Adoration projects in just three words, which words would you choose?
It's a love story.
Oh, that's three words. So okay, maybe Manu.
Wide love and darkness.
Okay. All right.
So how did you two meet and how did you start working together and how was it? And maybe did you sometimes disagree?
Vas-y, Fabrice.
So there is a chat?
No, there are some questions. I think
okay, because there is a chat, you know? Do you know that?
Yes.
Okay, well, we met a few years ago when I was preparing Alleluia. And, I was supposed to do the film with another DOP. And finally, for many reasons, he couldn't do it. And I was very practically in prep, and I was looking for a DOP quite soon. And I've noticed Manuel's work already. And then I met him, and we decided to make the film together. And we belong quite good, you know. Well, look, we're just like an old couple, really, now. We made 3 films together, you know?
And
so
maybe did you sometimes disagree? Maybe Manu?
Yeah, of course we disagree, but I mean, I think it's a good thing to disagree, you know, because Fabri has, some idea, really strong ideas, you know, and sometimes it doesn't work to the reality. So, of course, we have some disagreement. But it's a part of the process, you know, when you are working with the director. It's not you disagree and then you find a solution. It's always like that, you know, and it's like that you go forward, you know.
So the story of the movie reminds me of a fairy tale, and the cinematography kind of emphasizes to this fairy tale-ish atmosphere. How did you create it?
Adoration, the first idea was to make it really real, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The power of the fairy tale that's because we want really to play with the natural element, you know, with the water, with the sun, the smoke, the wind, that kind of stuff, you know. And then, the fairy tale is more coming from the costume, from the character. But in terms of cinematography, it's quite real, you know. We use natural light. We don't use, I think on Adoration, not extra light, you know, except for some night, you know, because in the middle of the forest, you have no choice. You have to use some light, you know, because in the night it's really dark. But the idea of the photography was really to be natural, you know, not don't to have some effect, except some scene inside the tunnel or that kind of stuff. But the first idea was more to be not only like Tree of Life style, you know, more real and more close to the character, you know.
And why did you decide to film it on a 16mm film?
With Fabrice, we love film for sure. I mean, we would love to shoot in 35, but I think the 16, you have the feeling of the film, but and also it's really lightweight, you know. You don't have, because 35 it's quite heavy, so you don't move easily with young actors, you know, who want to play. You know, they're running, you follow them. So with the 35, it's more complex to move quickly, you know. In the 16, it's really lightweight, and you have all the benefit of the film.
Yes.
Sorry.
No.
Okay. We noticed a lot of contrast in colors, for example, red and blue, but also the use of other symbolic elements, as for example, the birds. And Fabrice, maybe could you say a few words about this aspect of the film?
Well, it's always complicated, you know, for me to have rational thought speaking about my own work. It's because of course I can give you many answer and response to that, to all the symbolic that we use, that just like Manu said about the lighting, about the camera work and the costume and whatever. But you know, I think it's a little bit, it doesn't make good to the film to willing to interpret all the symbolic aspect of the how it's articulate. You know what I mean? So sorry, you know, I'm not a good one, especially now, because it's been quite a while. I'm just finishing my new film right now, and you know, being intellectual about my own work, it's always a little bit, that scares me a little bit. We made that film in a it's always the same process. We prepare quite a lot, especially with Manu and the other Manu, who is the production designer and the director artistic. We are very concerned about the location, about the texture of the film, about the way, the mood of the film, and in every aspect. But to comment my own work, you know, about the symbolic of the film, I'm not very comfortable with that, you know, honestly. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's fine. It's great. And now maybe Anya, do we have any questions from our audience?
Yeah, actually there is one, but Fabrice, you already answered it, but I will still pose it. So it is from Anna, who says the film is very powerful, and she has a question about Gloria's dress. Why is it red?
Yeah, but so, it's red because she's the fire and he is the water, you know. So maybe it's a little bit obvious. Maybe it's a little bit too on the nose, but yeah, for me it was quite a statement to have a red dress, especially because I think with the color, the green, especially on film, you know, the green, the blue, and the red is so powerful and so sensual that I thought it was great to have it, and especially on film. With Manu, sometimes we were looking the dailies and I thought, wow, it looks like old Russian or Polish films, you know, from the 80s or the 70s, because of the use of the colors. So that's probably why we pick a red dress. Yeah.
So you mentioned the movies from the 80s and 90s. I didn't really understand it, but maybe which kind of were you influenced by maybe other movies or paintings or art movements, as you said?
Many things, you know, there is so many references, and because I'm a huge cinephile, I see a lot of film, and I'm quite upset. I have an obsession with cinema, so, and I try to, in preparation to Manuel Dacosse and Manuel Dacossem, I try to prepare on each level. You know, with Manuel Dacossem, we prepare in advance. We made a mood board. We discuss about references, and then when the time of preparation is come, I work a lot with Manu, and we see some clip. I send him some stuff, and we discuss about light. But now, obviously, because we know each other a little bit more deeply, and we are friends, and I think we don't need to talk so much with Manu. And stop me if I'm wrong, Manu. But
no, it's true. I mean,
we know each other, and you know exactly what I try to where I try to go, and Manu, you know, because now he has lots of more experience that he used to have 5 or 6 years ago. He helps me to, just like in the machinery, comment tu dis la machinerie là?
In terms of grips, in terms of crane, of you know, even in terms of lighting. But I mean, we know each other very well, so I know what Fabrice wants to achieve, and then I mean, what we do also, we do a lot of scout together with Manu, also with the production designer. We take a lot of pictures myself, you know. Then I grade it, you know. And for example, the color of the dress is become logical, because if you are shooting in a forest where it's really the same color, you know, everything is brown and everything is green, so you want to play against that. So you want to play with a red color and a blue color, you know. So when you have a white shot, you directly see the dress, the blue and the red. That's why we choose. Also, of course, there is a symbolic bit. Also, it's because of colors, you know. And then this kind of work we're doing, you know, in the scout, you know, we're making pictures, we're trying to find the best way, and at what time we want to shoot that moment, you know, because the sun will be backlight, then we want to shoot at 5 p.m. That kind of decision we take it, you know, and then we spend a lot of time on the location, you know.
That's exactly true, because location is very important for us, and I spend a lot of time scouting, because I think is the key of a film. It's the first key, it's the first big key of a film. Picking the right place, the right location, and after talking with Manuel Dacosse and Manuel Dacossem about light and location, because I always thought, and I don't think it's brand new, you know, but I always thought that a good set is a good light, and a good light is a good set. And you can see in every great film that, for example, you see Citizen Kane. In Citizen Kane, I don't want to compare myself to Citizen Kane, of course, but in Citizen Kane, the Xanadu set, it's just built on light. There is no set. There is no construction. It's all about lights. And that's always impressed me. And I always thought that a good set is light, and light is a good set, you know. So you can make cinema with very, very minimum elements. And if you pick up the right place, the right location, because on that location you can play with the texture, the color, the light. You can use the good light at the right moment of the day. Of course, sometimes with the schedule is a little bit complicated because you have to shoot fast, but we are a team now. We are a team, and every different aspect of the team they are all concerned about that. Our main focus with all the team is to achieve the right shots based on the right location and the right light. So that's, you know, the first AD is concerned about that. The producer are concerned about that, because we talk about that in advance. We know exactly what we're trying to achieve. You know what you understand what I try to mean? I don't know if I'm really clear, but
yes. Great answer. Now we have a good question from the audience, and maybe Anya, can you help? Yeah.
So maybe I will just stop popping up and down and just be here for a while. So we have a question from Koen, which is actually also about influences, quotes and references, because he noticed a quote from Siméon's Le Bourgmestre de Furnes and Einstein's Que Viva Mexico, and also if I also may add the motto at the beginning, it's from two French prominent authors, Boileau-Narcejac. So maybe why did you choose it? How did you work with it?
Well, it's reference that I like. Of course, the quote "Who opens the film" is a quote very important for me, because at the time when I was writing the project, my French producer sent me a short film by Georges Franjoux that I didn't know at the time, and he knows how I love deeply Georges Franjoux, and I haven't seen that short film, and the short film opened with the same quote, so I decided to steal it. I decided to steal it, to steal the quote, because I thought it exposed completely the film and what I tried to achieve. I don't know if I succeed, but I at least I thought it was a great manner to open the film, like with that quote. And Simenon Simenon books are in lots of my different last film, because I love Simenon. I think he's a great master, and especially because he dived deep through the psyche and the soul of human people. I think he's a great writer, and I'm always hope that one day I will adapt one of his books, but it's quite complicated, I have to say, because time today it's not the 50s or the 60s anymore. It's completely another world. So, yeah, Eisenstein, because I think it was a great dance, and I was looking for a death dance. And okay, yeah, there is a lot of small stuff, in the film that any cinephile or could, but yeah, it's in every film. In every films who have been directed by people who love cinema, you can do the same, but that's not a big deal. That's not the important. I think the important, it has to fit to the film. It has to fit to the film. That's it.
Great. So I give the word back to Jan and Lana to ask some more questions.
Okay, so now maybe something about Thomas Joria and Fontine Hardouin. So how was it working with teenage actors, and was it for you more difficult than otherwise, or maybe not?
Strangely not. It was the most easiest film I ever made. Really, it's true. I spent a lot of time to choose them. A lot of time, especially Paul, especially Thomas. I was looking for months, almost a year. It was complicated because I knew that the character has to be someone very special, and Thomas is very special. So I spent a lot of time looking for him. And when I do a kind of a lecture, read through with both of them, I knew immediately that it will work. And on camera, it was quite easy. Kids, teenagers, you never wait for them. They are always good. They're always keen about working. And also they are young, but they are very professional. They have a high esteem of their work, of that what they want to achieve. So we never had Manu. You can stop me if
No. I mean, I'm right. I mean, it was easy to work with them. I mean, it was the summer. They really enjoy to be there on the set. it was really easy with them, you know. It's more easy with them than the actor, you know, because I mean, with Thomas, they want to play. It was summer, you know, for them. It was like kind of holiday, you know, and they love to play. They were really free. Also, we don't put any marks for them, you know. You have to hit that mark, then after that line, you know. So for them, we create with Fabrice. We create a situation. I mean, Fabrice has a storyboard, and we try to follow the storyboard, but not like really straight, you know. And then we follow them. Then the action was passing, you know, and then they were good also because I think it was a good cast, you know. And then it was quite simple, you know. It was, I mean, really simple, you know. And then we work really fast also because they know the line. Then and then I mean, yeah, it's more easy that I mean because we have some scene in the water, and I mean if you are more famous actor, it will be difficult because the water will be cold, this kind of stuff, you know. And with the teenager, they just jump on the water, you know, because they enjoy it, you know.
They were very available to us, available to the here and now, you know. They were quite disponible, completely available to any aspect of the film. So we were improving, not improving. We made so improv. When we had an idea, say, well, we can do that, we can try. There is no psychological, you know, conflicts about you need to talk about, you know. It was quite easy. We just tried to many things, and sometimes I was pushing them, you know, but they completely enjoy it, the process, because they knew since day one that it will be a difficult film in a way. But most difficult it was, they were quite happy to do it because, once again, they are quite very artistic. They are very involved. Their involvement was huge, fantastic. There is not, yeah, they are very true, real artist actor. You know, they were committed to the project.
And maybe what was the most memorable event, you know, during the summer of the shooting of Adoration?
The sun. It was crazy. The sun, honestly, because in Belgium, on that time, it was sun every day. I mean, it never happened, you know. I mean, every day we come on the set, there was the good weather, you know, always sunny. I mean, it was really our luck, you know, on that film.
Yeah, it was cool. It was quite blessing summer, you know, honestly. We went through a blessing summer. It was a beautiful moment.
So do we have any new questions, maybe?
Yeah, there's actually one question more from Koen. As we were talking about the two actors, maybe about the choice of your two lead characters. So how did you choose them? Or maybe, yeah.
It was a long process. It was a long process. It was, you know, I made a lot of casting. A casting director was looking for me, and then quite quickly, I decided to go beyond the box, you know, to leave the usual casting process and going to school, going to orphanage, going to you know, houses with difficult kids, you know. So I met a lot of different kids all over in Belgium and in France, north of France, and I was looking for in every direction. Fantine, I saw her quite rapidly. It was quite quick, you know, also because the film was delayed from a year. We were supposed to shoot the summer before we actually shoot. But for many reasons, and money reason, production reason, we decided to postpone. And I greenlight Fantine you know, in fact, I met Fantine, I made some try with her, and also she made that great film with Michael Haneke, Happy End. But she was quite smaller, she was quite kid. And finally I decided to make the film with her, and it was good because when she came back a year after, she was a little bit more mature, and she has more, she was a different young girl, you know, and the maturity of her maturity was more deep and solid. And Thomas was a big long process, as I told you, you know, and I was quite despair because I wasn't able to find a kid that I was really looking for. And finally, a friend of mine sent me an email and said, I just seen a great French film, and it was Jusqu'à la garde, Custody.
Custody, yeah.
Yeah. He said, I just saw Custody in Venice. And in Venice, I saw that film. And in that film, you have a young boy, an amazing young boy. And I think you should meet him. And by chance, I was knowing the agent who take care of the film. And I sent her an email and say, oh, can you please send me a link? I know it's not. He said, okay, I will send you a secure link. And I saw the film, and I was quite impressed by the kid. And I decided to meet him 2 months after. And of course, it was bigger, and his body changed a lot. And immediately it was quite obvious that kid was so special. And yeah, it was. Thomas is very unique, you know. Thomas is very a unique young kid. He has something special, and I was very wow. I was so happy, and of course also when I met him, the first thing I told him, say, how are you gonna do that? It's a very complex part, and he said, oh, I love the script, and okay, but how do you think you're gonna do it? And he said, well, it's gonna be easy. I just have to listen. And when you met a kid from, you know, 12 or 11 who said that, you know, that you have understood everything. So it was quite easy with him, honestly. It was a miracle. Those two kids was just really, and I mean it. It was really strong.
Thank you. So now we all felt Paul in a similar way, as almost too kind, but we all understood Gloria differently. So Fabrice, maybe if you want to talk about it, how did you want to show her?
To show who? Paul?
Gloria.
How to show Gloria? Gloria, she's a neurotic, you know. She has issues. She has problems. You don't know exactly if she tell the truth or not. She's a little bit just like a wild animal. She's very, yeah. She burns. She's a fire, you know. But she's very fragile too, and you have that young boy, you know, who embrace her in a very strange way, and their combination, you know, that just like magnet, you know. It's I don't know how I can tell that in English, but it's un récit d'apprentissage. Of course, it's a coming out of age, but more than that, it's un rite d'initiation. Initiation kind of
ritual of initiation.
Yes, you have that, but in a very strange way, of course, in a very strange way, from her and from him. They're going back in a very abstract way, in a very poetic way, I mean, but they fusionnent. at the end, it kind of, all those elements, the two elements goes, you know, there is a kind of a, the fire meets the water, and they going to the air, you know, they going to just like birds, you know. So of course it's an idea. An idea is not, an idea doesn't make any good film, you know, but that idea has to be, we're trying to find the best way to make it in cinema, that idea. And that's why I decided finally to finish the film on the boat, because I thought the boat, and we developed another ending, and we shot another ending, but finally I decided to keep the boat, because I thought it was the best way to finish the film, because at that moment you have all the elements in one, you know, in a very, very cinematic gesture. And that's why we all care about it. Of course, we think about the film, we think about the thematic, we think about the reference, we think about every aspect of the film. But in fact, the goal is to make film, is to make cinema, to make a gesture of cinema. You know, that's my only obsession, to go to dare the cinema gesture. Yeah.
And can you maybe imagine making the second part of this movie, and how would or more could their story continue?
Well, I made the promise to them, you know, that we will make the second part in 10 years. So when they will be grown up men and women, so we'll see. But I have no idea. No, I have no idea.
Maybe Manu, what do you think about that?
A second part, I don't know. No, it's cool. I mean, I like the end like that, you know. I mean, because we, like Fabrice said, we shoot another hand, you know. It was more to explain the situation, and I mean, the end like that, I like it. I mean, it's poetic, and it's not really an end, you know. It's cool to finish a film like that, you know. And then you can imagine another, what will be the future of these two teenagers, you know, but I don't know.
And you can write it and send it to me.
So, any questions from the audience? Any new questions?
I have such a perfect question for the end of this conversation, so I would like to keep it a little bit longer, and maybe Jan and Lana can continue with theirs.
Jan?
Yeah, we need to talk about the ending of the movie, because we both had we both understand the ending in a different way. So maybe for me the ending was really positive, especially because of the birds. As Sinclair says, that his wife reincarnated into them. So for me, they almost like represent a circle of life. And you also mentioned, you know, when the water and fire come together, they go into birds. So Fabrice, how do you understand the end, or maybe yeah, where do you place yourself at the end?
I will not tell you.
Okay. Okay.
No, I will not tell you, because I don't think it's useful to anybody. And I'm sorry, I don't want to be close to you about that, but I think the ending of that film, for me, it's yours, you know. It's yours. It's your interpretation. I have my own interpretation, but you know what I really my great proud about that ending is the shot, because the shot for me, you know, is not one shot. It's not a shot different from the rest of the film, but I think that shot all that cinematic movement, it's the quintessence, it's the juice of the film, in a very, for me, in a very cinematic expression. And that's what I was very concerned about, because, my obsession is cinema. Of course, for cinema is not, you need to have a purpose, you need to have a subject, you need to have subtext, you need to have characters, they have to be soulful. But in fact, it's always about cinema, and cinema prevailed for me. And I always thought, how can I express something in a cinema way, in a cinema vocabulary. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
I hate when people try to interpret or express their film. I think that's not cinema. That's bullshit for me. Cinema it's an art form who needs to be taken very, very seriously, and of course it's entertaining, and it's a big business, and it's very complex. But my obsession today is to express myself as a filmmaker, and to reach people with my tool, with my writing, and my writing is cinema. And because I don't think I'm a good script writer. I can work, but during the shooting, I try to crystallize, to dig into that idea, to be. Yeah, that's why there is many directors that I love, and because when they achieve to express something with only the tool of a movement, or of course a movement combined with a writing, a very strong writing, but you can improve the writing with a camera movement, and reach something beyond that. You can reach something who cross you, or go through you, or hurt you, impress you, or shock you. But with the tool of cinema, I don't say I achieve, but that's my goal.
No, you really did it, because we really both understand the ending in a completely different way. So yeah, great job.
Yes. Now a question for Manu. So I really like the scene of Paul's dreams, and dreams are always visually very interesting in movies. And how did you make decisions about filming Paul's dreams?
I mean, it was the opposite of the normality. The normality, we use natural light, and for the dream, we say, okay, we'll use really like cinema movie light, like I remember the dream in the wagon, we put a lot of plant and green, and me, I put a 18K on the window, and I was moving the light, so I play a lot in the dream with not natural light, so that was the idea on that film, after some time on other film, when you film dream scene, you came with that kind of idea that maybe something is wrong, that maybe a window is not lighting, or that kind of stuff, that the lighting is not normal, and for of course for the movie of Fabrice, we push the cursor, we put the light, we put the plant, and we play also some slow-mo. We also with I think there was one shot, I don't remember, it was a dolly shot, because all the rest of the movie is handheld. So yeah, this kind of stuff. Also with the dream in the tunnel scene, we use with colors, with color light, and also with slow-mo, some hand cracking shot, we play with 3 frames per second, then 50, then like we did in the Hallelujah, and yeah, this kind, I mean, for the dream scene, we play with more toys, you know. I mean, the normal scene, it was like handheld, natural light, and then for the dream scene, okay, like let's play with all the toys.
So maybe do we have any new questions from the audience?
Yes, actually we do. So both of you were already talking about the film Alleluia, and we have a question from Masha from the Festival of Genre film Kurja Polt, who I think you both know. She's asking that after Calvary and Alleluia, Adoration is supposedly the final part of the Ardennes trilogy about love, mad love. But do you still consider the films a trilogy? And is there a special feeling connected to bringing it to completion? Yes, a sense of perhaps sad goodbye after so many years of exploring these themes.
No. I think no. I think the next one will be probably a fourth part. And I think Gloria is coming back, and she's more violent than ever. So yeah, no. I think those three films, they are for me. But you know, once again, I've no plan in advance. You know, we're just walking, and then we will see. But those three films, they are film d'errance. I don't know, drifting films. You know, you have that feeling about drift. You know, people are walking, just like walking through or sailing through a river, and so you have that aspect between drifting and nature and dreamy, moody and dreamy and drifting. Inexorable for me, the next one is much more designed and much more written, and it's quite different, but it's the same subject, I think, with a more mad than ever Gloria. But Masha will see, you know. I will be back in Slovakia. Slovenia, sorry.
Slovenia.
Oh. Okay, but let's a bit stick to the genre film. So we have a question from Aisha. Fabrice, you make a lot of genre films, especially horror, yeah? So what draws you to this genre?
Well, I don't know about genre. I don't know about horror. I just care about cinema, you know. But the fact is I like to be impressed in the movie as a viewer, as a cinephile. I like bloody, you know, Shakespearean yelling stuff, you know. So it's always great when I see conflicts, when it's chaotic and stuff like that. So I think probably as a filmmaker, I try to find those elements, and that's those elements that I try to articulate for making the best film I could. And I try to improve myself as a filmmaker, and each film is quite different. It's very existential for me making movie, try to learn from those movies and try to grow as a human being, as a man, and as a filmmaker. So I think it's a process for me, you know. It's a long process, and I hope I will make more film. But genre, I don't know. I'm never thinking about cinema about genre, or, you know, and I don't think my movies are very strictly horrific. I think they combine different aspects of films. I think more than my films are sometimes more tormented and psychological, but they could be violent. They could be sometimes, I hope, funny, and sometimes, I don't know, messy. Well, I don't want to be in a box. you know, I want to be out of the box always. So yeah, I don't know what genre is. You know, I love when a movie is singular, just like a human person. You know, I know when that person or a movie grabbed my interest, because he has a singularity, he has a flavor, he has his own identity.
Great. So maybe Lana, Jan?
Yes, and how do you think you would react to a movie Adoration if you would be a teenager?
Oh, that's a question.
Manu can start because he had a nice laugh.
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't know. Me, when I was teenager, if I was, I don't know. I hope I hope I could see that kind of movie, you know. It could be cool, you know. That's the problem, because something sad is that the movie doesn't exist really in the movie theaters, you know, so you don't have the chance to see it, you know, and to discover it, you know. That's so I'm sure. I know that, yeah, I don't know. I think Fantine told me that a professor from a school pushed all the people from her class to go to see the movie, you know, so I don't know. It will be interesting to know the reaction of the people, you know? But I don't know, honestly, how to react to the movie. I think I would like it.
Yeah, hopefully. So, okay, thank you guys so much for taking your time for this inspiring conversation, and we wish you a good luck with your future projects.
And how many people watch the film tonight in different? You have an idea? Or?
The same as many seats we have in the theater, so okay, 198.
With Slovenian subtitle?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Well, yeah, the actual number of people watching is still in the internet waves, but as we are coming to the end of the conversation, I had one question, actually a bit nostalgic, regarding cinema. How much do you miss cinema? Because we couldn't see for now Adoration in this beautiful cinema hall on the big screen, so how much do you miss it?
For me, you know, if I start to respond to that, I will start to be very, very angry, because
don't ask him.
It's insane for me. It's insane. I love watching films at home, but I need theater, and especially if I will honestly understand why we are not able to go see a fucking movie in a theater, I will say, okay, that's, you know, but there is no reason at all. So it's just insane. It's just nonsense, stupidity, and we can go to the mall. We can buy some shoes. We can buy some fucking tools that we don't need, but we cannot go to cinema. So I think it's really, really scary. It's a very scary world we have to face, and especially young people. I think you need to stand up and burn some car and say, no, we have to live. You have to live. You have to live, and we have to live, and we life has to continue with all the safety that we need to do. But you know, we need to go to the cinema, and there is no risk. There is no fucking risk. So let's go to see a movie. You know, you know, that's terrible for me. Yeah, you can see it's a big issue in my life now.
Yeah, of
course there is many different stuff, but okay, now I reach the level, I reach the state that, okay, that's enough. Let's go back to see a fucking movie at the theater. We need to reopen. There is no problem. we can be safe in a theater and watching great films.
Yeah, I hope someone else hears these words. We are all very much looking forward to be open again and to enjoy the cinema magic. So let's end on a hope note. And yeah, well.
Yes, thank you once again. It was a great conversation, very inspiring, and we wish you good luck with your future projects.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So goodbye. The audience might leave now.
Okay,
Ja,
take care.
hvala vsem, ki ste poslušali.
Ja, tako da ja, lahko greste in lep večer še naprej.
Yeah,
Adieu.
thank you, everyone. And I hope to see you very soon here with your next project, your next film. So you already promised Masha, Fabrice. So
Yeah, you know, Masha is a friend, so
yeah,
if I can come, I will, and she knows it.
that's great. We are looking forward to it. So
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.